This episode of Any Good Thing proudly underwritten by the folks at Bashwinger Insurance Agency in the St. Stanislaus Church School at 42 Cornell Street, Amsterdam, New York.
Welcome to Episode 9 of Any Good Thing, written by Jay Town, with a contribution by Karen Altieri. In our previous episode, Charity gets a job offer while driving home from applying in Brooklyn, and Derek learns his mother is going to be admitted to a hospital for treatment of pneumonia.
The thing is, I have always hated change. To me, it is a death, from one thing to another. When my pop passed, I was distraught for mostly 6 months, or more. My mom brought me out of it, with love and gentleness. That is why we were all scared when she almost died, of the same thing she has now. That is why this thing with Charity, our changing relationship, scares me so much. I feel like, with just a little effort, we could be joined, like the Bible says, to be one. Doesn't make any sense then that we are ending when we should be beginning. I have waited so long to be with somebody good and kind and caring. Then when I find her, she opts out. Is it my fault? What did I do wrong? I know I am needy, but I am not clinging. I know I feel deeply, but that is not what she sees. She sees an affected loser, dependent. But I am not that man. I have infinite possibilities, infinite chances, and with God, infinite capability. If only I could show her. But I am being eroded. I am being pulled in 1,000 different directions. This is not easy. Even with my faith, I still fear. This is not what God intended. Perfect love casts out fear. I can't remember where that verse is. Why the quest for perfect love? It started in the garden, where choice was born. Now, we pervert it to dominate our thoughts. I am no different. I see things darkly. I am not immune. You have loved me since before I was formed. In your book, my soul is written, inscribed on the heart of God. How can you love everybody? You must tell me your secret. Love, the great equalizer. I need to and will seek you, seek grace and truth. But right now, I need to find peace.
We see Derek trying to dial Charity.
Come on, pick up.
Hello? Derek?
Are you all right? I thought you got into an accident. Then your phone died.
Yeah, sorry. It's been acting up. No, this jerk was driving erratically and almost swerved into me.
Did you get his plate and call the state patrol?
I dialed 911, probably when you were calling. A lot.
Sorry, I thought you were in trouble.
I'm okay, and barring anything unforeseen, I should be in town in about 30 minutes. I'll talk to you then, okay? From a house phone?
Wait, can I call you with directions and hours for visiting my mom tomorrow?
Sure, only not too early. I would like to sleep in, if possible.
How about if I call you around noon? That way Caroline can let me know where she is.
Could be important. Call me tomorrow then, when you know.
Okay, drive safely.
Charity hangs up and decelerates as it begins to rain heavily.
Honestly, I don't know what he sees when he looks at me. I mean, I know I'm pretty, but I'm more than that. I'm tough and independent. He knows this. My spiritual side, regrettably, needs reworking, it seems. But I'm there for him 24/7. What more does he want? Though I worry about him. He has family that cares for him, but they're miles away. Who does he have but me? And what more can I do? What if I leave and he gets worse? Could I live with myself? My plans be damned. What are they but an expression of my selfishness? I do some things blindly, sensing my way. Sometimes I'm pleasantly surprised, and sometimes bitterly disappointed. Is my desire for self-advancement an excuse to not get close to anybody? Do I seek only my own, or... Why analyze this? I know what I need to do, don't I? I need to take a second look of who I might hurt if I stick to my plan. Oh, Mama, you raised me right, and I need to stay with all those teachings you gave me, to keep you in my heart, in my actions. You don't know how messed up I am without you. Every day I struggle. Every day I worry I'm not good enough, now that you've passed on. And boy, do I complain. Something you almost never did. I know I need to get back to the principles that made you strong. Love, wisdom, compassion, understanding. I can do it, with your help. Prove them wrong, Mom, and prove me right. I hope this traffic thins out.
Charity makes it to her house and goes to sleep. Derek wakes her at 11:30 the next morning.
Yes?
It's Derek, sunshine.
Is it that time?
You betcha.
Okay. What time is it?
It's 11:30, and I know you said 12.
I'm getting ready. Meet you at 12, okay? Just got to get some coffee.
Charity gulps down some coffee and hurriedly eats a bowl of cornflakes, grabs an apple, and picks Derek up on time. We see them traveling to see his mother.
Why St. Francis Hospital? Is this a thing with you Hugheses?
It's close by my mom, so we have been going there for a long time, decades.
How is she?
Caroline says she is stable, which is a good sign.
You say she almost died from pneumonia?
Yes, we try not to speak of it, if possible.
Don't blame you.
Visiting hours are from 12 to 4 p.m., so you don't have to hurry.
They make it to St. Francis safely and meet Caroline and John, her husband, in the waiting room.
Derek, I'm so glad you're here. Oh, hi, Charity. How are you?
Fine, thanks.
Derek goes to John and shakes his hand.
Thanks for coming. This is Charity, a friend from Amsterdam.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Caroline, can we go in?
Sure. John and I were just in to see her. We told her you would be here soon. Why don't you and Charity go right in? Room 14B over there.
Charity?
Are you sure?
Go on. She'd like that.
They go in to see Miriam, who is sitting up, facing the door with a hospital gown on and a nasal cannula oxygen tube.
Hi, darlings.
How are you, Mom?
Just fine and dandy. My wardrobe is first rate, the food is good, and my servants come to tend me every 30 minutes, or when I call them. Watch.
She grabs the call device and pretends to push it.
Mom?
Just kidding. They're immune by now anyway. Besides, I'm ornery because I am not going down without a fight.
Save your strength, Mom.
You look good, considering the circumstances.
Oh, you are being kind. It's you who looks good. Sleep good last night?
Until your son rather abruptly ended that this morning.
I called her too early. She's my ride.
And your friend?
Are you okay?
She collects herself, adjusts her tube.
Oh, I've been worse. You missed last night. Boy, was that difficult.
What is your prognosis?
Well, I am getting better and should continue as days go on. I need to be here for a couple of days, and then I may be discharged if I continue improving. We dodged a bullet, son.
Good. Seems there's always a bullet to dodge.
Yes. It's good to know you are feeling better. You're very important to this family.
Probably too important.
Now, what's that supposed to mean, Mom?
It means that next time we may not be so lucky. Sooner or later, I will go on my way out of this world, and you and your sister will be left here without me. Without a plan, seemingly. I'm just saying.
Mom, you are still young.
Derek, what your mom is saying is right. Instead of you and Caroline relying on your mom for everything now, you should have backup plans of what you would do with your resources, time, talents, should your mother pass away, so you won't be caught off guard should she go. It's very thoughtful of her to mention it. My mom had a plan for me, and it made all the difference.
Mom?
Oh, hush now, and do what she says. Derek, have you said boo to John yet?
Just hello.
Make it a point. He's still a member of our family, so don't shun him.
Okay.
How did your job interview go yesterday, Charity?
I got the job.
Terrific! Well, I hope you take it in this economy.
Yes, I will.
Derek, honey, go and get Caroline and John, would you?
Okay.
When Derek steps out of the room, Miriam motions for Charity.
Now, Charity, if you take this job, will you end things completely with my boy?
Well, Mrs. Hughes, that is what we're trying to figure out.
He is a good boy, man, and someone to respect.
I assure you, I do. I am giving him every chance to impress me.
I like you, but see that you do. I've had enough recently of separation. Here they come.
Hi, Mom.
Hi again.
How do you feel now?
Now, did I do that to you when you kids were sick? No. I treated you and let you be, in a controlled way. Now, let's talk about something else. And no Yankees. I'm a Mets fan.
After Miriam was checked by the doctor, the family disbanded for the day.
I saw a picture once of a rocky seascape, a cove seen from the side, with the foreground rocks jet black, and the distant rocks a pale green, and the ocean in the cove wore a serpentine belt of sea foam as the waves brought in flotsam from the vigorous ocean. And I have placed myself there often from memory, and longed for that photographer to capture me in my solitude, looking for answers on that rocky shore. Now, I wish for answers in a clueless world, trying to find meaning in an unscrupulous society. My beliefs are not adequate for me to find peace. I need to know more, understand more, feel more. And I'm chasing away a good guide, someone who benefits me. But here I am chasing, always chasing away. He is saying something, and I must break away. Must understand. What are you saying?
Why, weren't you listening?
Of course I was listening. Besides, I'm driving, remember?
Derek calls his sister.
Yes, Derek?
Are you still there? Can you talk freely?
Yes, John is just going to the Yes, just a yogurt and juice, thanks. To the cafeteria. So we can talk. What about Charity?
We're driving home now, and she's heard it all by now. It's just that I'm having a hard time adjusting to all this change. I mean, granted, Charity and I only dated for 4 weeks.
3.5 weeks.
Yes, but I feel strongly that with different circumstances, we could stay together. And you and John, after 24 years, is it? I don't get it. What keeps people together?
Well, a combination of appreciation, communication, acceptance, understanding, and of course, true love. And don't forget commitment and dedication. When commitment and dedication start to fail, then the other things fail as well. In your case, perhaps you both didn't have enough time to build a commitment on that first spark, and now she might be afraid and wanting out, do you think?
She wants to know if you are afraid, and that is why you want to get out of our relationship.
Put her on speaker. Can you hear me?
Yes, much better.
I don't know if I'm afraid, just pragmatic. I thought to end the romantic relationship now to spare him from future pain and to further our friendship.
Derek, if John and I dissolve our union, we will stay forever close for having been together, as if a piece of each other were left with the other. That is the reality of life, God's hand in our relationships. Originally, God made us all to be bonded for our lifetimes to one mate, to live, raise children, and be in love. This is why the church teaches its doctrines about divorce.
But several other churches teach that dissolving unions can be simpler, more accessible.
But we are in this one, Charity. Both Derek and I have been trained in these ways, and to them we look. But we are human, and our emotions sometimes don't seem to be controlled by the Spirit. That is to say, God takes care to give our wishes even more respect than they sometimes deserve by allowing them to come true.
So I am being this way because I was bonded more than she, or I am just making a mountain out of a molehill?
Both.
Great minds think alike.
I don't want you to think I don't care about you, or that I have given up completely about us being together. Every now and then I get a glimpse of how good it could be. But I do want us to be better friends, and be pragmatic over how much time we have for each other.
Fine.
His answer for everything.
I stick by my answer.
As for John and I, we just fell into an everyday, the same, no reason to rise above it, no reason to care, rut, which led to a slow degrading of emotion and affection, to him nearly committing adultery.
He did?
Nearly. A work flirtation trying to turn into something more. That's all it was. But I discovered it and put an end to it. Now we have a great gulf between who we were and who we are without a bridge. That's why we are going to go to counseling starting next week.
Good.
So in the meantime, Derek, you are to call John, engage him in conversation, and tell him how much it means to you that we are still trying to work things out, okay? Be human.
Right. Thanks for the talk, sis. I appreciate it.
Okay, Charity, drive safely, and thanks.
Thank you. What a nice sister.
I heard that.
So, can I drop you at your place and pick you up later? I have some things to do.
Sure.
Charity eventually drops Derek at his house with a promise to call later. He goes inside and sits.
I am aware of myself, and I am mindful not to make mistakes. My house is as empty as I am, without the sunshine of a pure soul to balance me out. Stephanie was a port in a storm, and Charity is a city on a cliff, and I am a shipwreck, lying battered and broken beneath her light. God, why do I do that to myself? I have strength. I can be strong, but with all the women in my life, I am judged to be weak, unable, impure. It's too late to protest now. Just endure. I am sorry you had to hear all that just now. Maybe I do make mistakes.
He goes to the sink to do the dishes. Charity goes home and calls Dr. Lewis's office to schedule her surgery. She calls her best friend, Elena.
Hi, stranger. How are you?
Hi there. I hope you are well.
I'm fine. Busy as usual.
I have so much to tell you.
Shoot.
I interviewed and got a job at a radio station in Brooklyn, all on the same day.
That's wonderful.
Then, Derek and I may be done. Well, at least with the romance. Though, I kind of liked it. Anyway.
Why are you maybe over?
I don't know, frankly. We both feel something. I don't know. The other thing is my surgery is scheduled for Monday.
Oh, yeah. Got it. You need a ride to and from, like always with you.
Yes, thanks. So, what do you think?
About what? Your new job? Congratulations. You've done a wonderful thing for yourself. But Brooklyn? When am I ever going to see you?
Weekends, holidays.
Same as always. I'm just saying, I'm happy for you, and it's what you want. So, no, I won't complain. Your surgery? Good, it's about time. But Derek? What are you going to do with him? Leave him here, alone and missing you? Or will you bring him with you?
Honestly, I hadn't thought of that.
Did you think at all or plan?
Barely.
Not like you, Charity. This fire sale mentality that you are displaying betrays one thing. You are afraid to stay.
Explain.
There's something about Derek that you fear. You lost your mom. You lost your job. So all is lost to you now. Why not lose the one who makes you happy? Why not sever every connection to this place? Why not abandon a man who would keep you tethered to Amsterdam, to all your hovering memories?
I hate it when you do that. Say something so profound, it bears to never be repeated.
But I'm right, and you know it. Are you still with me?
Yes,
Don't let what I say bother you, unless you care for him.
I know. I know I do, but I don't know how much.
You've only been together less than a month, so maybe it's not the right time for you.
Well, maybe. Listen, I'm gonna let you go now. I'm gonna go lay down.
Okay, talk to you later.
Charity goes to her bedroom to lie down.
I am not afraid of death. I am much more afraid of losing those I love. In every life some rain shall fall, and I have been soaked lately, from life acting badly to stupid, heartless decisions of my own. I can expect my life to get better as I usually do, and those around me to be a source of strength. But then there's Derek, a man who alternates between profound and wayward, prosaic and inspired. I wonder what to do. But that is the least of things, to heal and help, live and choose. This is the essence of my mind. And I am still struggling. Mom, I know you watch over me, and I appreciate it. If only I could respond to you in a deeper way. If only.
She slowly falls asleep, but is awakened within minutes by the phone.
Hello?
Charity, this is Janet. And before you say anything, I would like to say how sorry I am for the loss of your mother. And secondarily, sorry for my heartless and insensitive demands and treatment of you as a result.
I don't know what to say. Thank you.
You know me well, Charity. I don't say this easily. But when I'm wrong, I admit it. So there it is. But that's not the only reason I've called.
There's more?
I'm offering you your old job back, without reservations, and with an increase in responsibilities as well as an increase in pay.
How much?
5% to start, and as you move up, take on more and different responsibilities, your pay will increase.
Fast track?
Yes, fast track. I've always admired your abilities, but I guess I never told you very often.
How long do I have to decide?
Well, obviously time is of the essence. The sooner the better for all concerned.
Thank you, Janet, for the apology and the offer. I will consider it and get back to you ASAP.
Do that. And thank you, Charity.
Charity hangs up the phone and deliberates.
Guess I'm hungry.
She gets up and fixes a sandwich and a glass of wine. Meanwhile, Derek sets out for a walk.
Since you have been so good to me, I will obey. Since you have promised to save me, I will pledge my heart. But I will not vow, for sin would surely follow. I know I am flawed, but so is she. So is everyone. So we are in the same boat. Thank you for healing my mom, and thank you for healing John and Caroline. I wish I could savor victories and not move from pain to pain like I do. I am a sufferer, and good at it. Time is a wasting, Lord. Time to be aware and heal, and not so much me. I am awake now, but for how long? I am willing now, but at what expense? Help me to be...
Charity washes the dishes and dries them, then goes to sit down in the living room. She goes to the door.
Derek, what's wrong?
Nothing. Just thought I'd surprise you.
Of course you did. Come in.
They sit on the couch.
I was just out walking and I was nearby, so...
How convenient, out walking in my neighborhood.
You know, I used to walk this way to the park or church long before I ever met you.
And you'll keep walking it long after I'm gone, huh? I see where you're going with this.
No. No talk of Derek and Charity. I'm frankly getting sick of dealing with that topic.
Me too. It is what it is. After all, aren't there bigger themes that need attention? Like world hunger, world peace.
And the rising depression rates among people my age?
Where did you come up with that one? It's valid, but where did you see that one?
Doctors RX. The internet.
Speaking of doctors, I rescheduled my surgery for this Monday.
Good. Did you get tired of suffering?
Yes. That and having time before I had to decide whether to take this Brooklyn job or not.
I thought you had already decided to take it.
Well, I wasn't going to tell you, but Janet, my ex-boss, called not a half hour ago and apologized for mistreating me and offered me my job back with a raise and promotions.
That's good. But that would keep you here.
Yes, that.
But you said...
I'm aware of what I said, but anyway, I haven't had time to fully process the offer yet, and why she would give it. But I would be crazy not to at least consider it, right?
Definitely. Definitely.
Back on the subject of doctors, Elena is going to give me a ride, but you are welcome to hold my hand when I get out.
Monday, huh? Got plans.
I did say hold my hand. Did you get that?
Yes, but... Gotcha!
Silly boy.
Where and what time?
Here, about 3 p.m., Monday.
Okay. How long have you known Elena?
Almost 5 years now. I met her at the radio station I worked at in Albany. She's one of a kind. How about you, Hughes? I don't hear you mention any friends of yours.
Most of my friends sort of fell away after Stephanie killed herself. I don't think I got a good explanation from any of them. I have a couple left, but don't see much of them.
Do you put in any effort? I mean, aside from me. Because that's what's required with a friend.
I know. I really should be more respectful of the process.
You have a lot going for you, Derek. I'm sure people you meet all sense this, like Father Nelson. Not only did he see an easy mark, but he also must have sensed your innate kindness and purity of spirit.
Go on.
Come on. You like being praised, don't you?
Who doesn't? Now you. I've mentioned grace and kindness. Now your intelligence and seeking of self-awareness, which is the hallmark of a fertile imagination.
I don't know about that.
Sure. Imagination sparks images. Images provoke seeking. Seeking promotes understanding. Self-awareness.
Thought about this some, Hughes.
In my spare time, and there's been a lot of spare time.
And talking to God.
Yes. You know the most important lesson he has taught me in all these years? Just to love him supremely, and my neighbor as myself. But that implies that I first love myself, and that is a struggle for me, especially lately.
You are so worthy. You don't know the half of it.
Maybe for someone to love me from the outside, but not me from the inside. I know the sin and fear and pain that lies in me, acutely, and it is hard to ascribe worth to these feelings, enough to engender self-love.
Thank God for agape love, huh?
Yes, the transcendent force that renders human constructs worthless. Without God and His Spirit, I don't know what I would have done.
Well, I'm glad you're who you are, where you are, gracing my life.
Thanks, that's very nice.
She runs her fingers through his hair, straightening his part.
No problem. What time is it? Too early to eat. Have you eaten? Did I ask you that already?
No, you haven't? Yes, I have. Don't worry, you still have time to feed me down the stretch.
That is if I keep you around, right?
Right.
The first song that ever meant anything to me is, I Want to Hold Your Hand. And now, that is what I want. To be held as the apple of somebody's eye. To be kissed with wild abandon by the one I hold dear. To be esteemed more highly than a man's wish for gold. But who am I kidding? A man in this world is as useless as a broken wheelbarrow. Incapable of true love. Except Derek. He is a child out of time. Yet he loves purely, with a pure heart. And I stand alone needing the very things he offers, less the negatives, the dependence, and the anger. Still, what would it take to stay and adapt? This pounding in my head won't leave me. But I digress. It wouldn't do to tell him. He is not ready to learn this decision. And so I go.
What were you just thinking? Your eyes glazed over and you said art out of the clear blue sky.
I did?
Yeah. Who's art? Gotcha.
Derek, stop acting like you're 12, for goodness sake.
Keeps me occupied.
I was thinking of Janet's offer and how it would affect me and you if I were to accept.
Interesting. Well, it would affect you primarily, me secondarily.
I'm listening.
Primarily in your work,
Promotions.
new responsibilities, challenges, the status quo, your comfort zone changing into who knows what, insecurity and much change. But you probably thrive on that.
Yes, I do.
Secondarily, you would have to live here, and as lately as this past week, that was something you decried. How do you reconcile that?
I don't know.
Not good enough. This is your hometown, and I understand familiarity breeds contempt with anything, but it is also a comforting, if a little provincial, hometown, where people accept you, right?
Yes?
So what's not to like? You take the good with the bad, just like in any situation.
Yes, you're right. I know it.
Which leads me back to your aversion might be toward me. Unless you can come up with a suitable reason, other than the ones we already know.
She brushes a wayward strand of hair out of her eyes.
I think I may have an insight into why. Derek, when my mom was passing away, I felt like a part of me was dying too. So, I decided to eliminate anything that would cause me pain, ever. I distanced myself from her suffering, and when she passed, I almost felt relief that things were headed in the right direction. Do you know how sick I felt at feeling that way? To my own mother?
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
How could you? Then, I did the same with you, trashing a good, productive start to a relationship. Because I didn't want to feel anymore. I tried to tell you, but not very effectively.
Thanks, but I understand now, at least in part.
Now I have to decide which way to go.
I would say follow your heart, but that is a little trite.
But appropriate. This is precisely what I need to do. I have an opportunity to do what I see as needful and what I want, and an opportunity to live in love, grieve properly for my mother, and do what is right for all involved.
You have options.
Yes, and I want you to play an important role for me. Will you?
Certainly.
They embrace.
I am allowing myself this time simply to be. I think I know how to proceed, but I may fail if I rush into anything. I will bless my blessings and live in love. I will move forward, knowing.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Any Good Thing. Please tune in again. The cast for this episode includes Jessica O'Connell as Charity Rodriguez, John Salerno as Derek Hughes, Laura Lee Whitlock as Caroline Peterson, Daryl Conlin as John Peterson, Belinda Vare as Janet Morgan, Cheryl Charbonneau as Miriam Hughes, Karen Altieri as Elena Hutchins, and Homer Charbonneau as the narrator. Music by John Mastromoro. Special thanks to the City of Amsterdam and Creative Connections Art Center for providing rehearsal space for this episode.